Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of the Footy Fantasy Podcast, coming live to you every Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and whatever other time zone you're at. Just do the math. But today, I think we're gonna have we're not gonna have a lot to talk about today. I mean, there's always a lot to talk about in football. But before we go into anything, follow us on YouTube. We're at Footy Fantasy on YouTube. On Twitter, we are at Footy AD Fantasy, and on Instagram, we are at Fantasy Footy. Again, these shows come to you every Sunday. If you don't have the time to sit through a whole hour-long episode, we usually have like highlights that get posted about 2 days after. Feel free to take advantage of that as well, and like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And with that being said, let me introduce the panel today. We have our brother, I think this is the first time we've only had one Arsenal fan on the podcast in a long time. But Henry, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, nice to see you. Nice to be back with you guys again. It's always a good time. Thank you.
Of course. See, it's always weird. Like, whenever I'm on the show with an Arsenal fan, most of the time it's Henry or some other reasonable person. I want the crazy Arsenal fan, so I can talk premium rubbish, But it's all right. Henry is a reasonable man. I can be reasonable when I need to. But what's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. Euros is about to start.
Exactly.
There's no better time to come up.
Exactly. Look, Yemi, as a fellow United fan, I think I speak for the both of us when I say we're enjoying life right now. Because if your team doesn't play, you can't lose, right? So we're good. We're chilling. We're having a great summer.
A lot of us couldn't wait until the season was over. Now the season is over. We are now enjoying our vacation.
Brother, life is good.
Life is great.
But feel free to join us in the comments, guys, if you have anything to say, because I know there will be opinions here that some of you will vehemently disagree with. Feel free to share those in the comments, and we will read them out as the show progresses. First topic of the day. Euro starts in 7 days. Next Friday is when it starts. And I don't know. Is it just me, or do you guys think the preparation or these Euros there's not a lot of excitement around it, or am I an exception here?
No, you're correct. In my own opinion, I think it's not being the typical fanfare and awareness that we're accustomed to. But I actually think it's going to be a really nice Euros, because if you look at the groups, it's like some groups you can't really. There are at least 2 or 3 standouts in some of the groups. So I know what you mean though. It's not usually by now like you already kind of in the feeling, in the mood. We're starting to talk about players, but it feels like it's more subdued this year. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think so. I have a theory. I think us as a group of football fans globally, I think we have football fatigue. That's just what I think. Maybe because I had a horrible season as a Manchester United fan. Maybe that's it. But I think we have football fatigue. But now let's talk about we're gonna go through each group, and everybody's gonna say what they think the 2 teams are that will progress from each group. But just a quick shot in the dark. Who do you think is gonna win? We're not expecting any analysis here. You can be as emotional as you want to be. Henry, I'll go with you first. Who do you think is gonna win? Shot in the dark.
It's a tough one. Based off of form and pedigree, I'll say France.
Okay. All right. Yemi, what you thinking?
Portugal.
All right. Even though
See,
they have Roberto Martinez as a coach, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of international football.
that is the that is the only. There's no flaw on that team except for the coach. It's just like
Mm.
it's just a three lions. You have the team. It's now time for like the coaches. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that. So
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Okay.
keep it to.
So yours Portugal. Me, I'll go for the host. I'll go for the host. It's gonna be in keeping with the, I guess, boring, nature of the build up. I think Germany wins, not because they're gonna be like head and shoulders above everybody else, but just because they're at home. But let's go to each group right now. I have the groups open on my end, and so Group A, Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. So Yemi, what two teams are you picking to progress from Group A? Germany,
So
Scotland, Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland.
uh, Germany number one.
Yeah,
The problem is who is going to be second and third.
yeah.
Because I know the third team, the best third teams, they qualify too as well, like 4 or 5 of them, right? So
Is it is
if they do,
do we have that format in this Euros?
yeah, I think
Do we?
I think
Okay, okay. Because I know we had it in Nations Cup in Afcon. I don't know. I didn't know that we had it in
there are
Euros as
not
well.
that much teams that are really they want to make it as competitive as possible. So
Got it.
I picked Germany and Switzerland. Do you want me to
Okay.
dive deep or just let it just? Are we just
I mean, you can do a quick deep dive, because this is
Germany because number one they're the host team.
yeah.
Number two, there's a happiness about Cross coming back into the team.
Yeah.
And we are now going to see like a passing of the guard to two players. This is the coming out as a party for two players. And this is the time that they just have to grasp it.
Yeah.
Musiala already he did something great at the World Cup. But this time around we are going to see Musiala and Wits
Yep.
like we've never seen them before. And then depending on what the coach wants to do, Nagelsmann, which I think at some point in time is going to start Wits and Musiala. There is no better player to have this behind them than Kroos. You have Kroos, you have Gundogan, two metronomes and people that can dictate the game and allow the two in front of them, who is Wits and Musiala, to just go and look for trouble, and find loopholes. Then now we have a serious team.
So Yemi, are you saying? And Henry, I want you to come in here as well. Actually, let me take comments real quick. Let me take one. I just saw a funny one. I couldn't let it go. The streets are asking if you have a second job.
I think I drive this thing. I'm not an Uber driver. No.
No. No. I don't think he's driving. He's just in the car. But yes, he's always behind the steering wheel. This guy is behind the steering wheel more often than an Amazon truck driver. Like seriously. And Ayo goes Germany to win the Euros. Yeah, can't agree with that. Ayo again, and another Arsenal player, Havertz, to lift a major trophy outside of Arsenal. Exactly. Maybe Arsenal fans will see one of their players show armpits, but in another jersey, maybe. But Henry, I also want you to come in here. So I'm excited to see that partnership Yemi just talked about, Florian Wirtz and Jamal Musiala. Does that mean we're going to see a false nine from Germany the entire competition? What happens to defensive cover at the back? Because I love Cruz. I mean he's a metronome. Same thing with Gundogan, but defensive cover though. What you saying?
Yeah, so that's why I said this tournament is going to be interesting. I feel like France has the best defense. The best midfield is between Germany and probably everybody is sleeping on England's midfield. But I think I think it's for me. It's just their coach. I think
Yeah,
if
yeah,
those players are used properly, that is a potential headache for any matchup.
yeah.
And best attack, who would I say has the best attack? I can't really say anyone. I don't know who I would keep like the best attack in Europe, but that's why
Portugal.
actually maybe perhaps is that why you're tipping them to win?
Not necessarily though. So this let us go back to this in Jola's this
Yeah, yeah. Let me
Let's
talk
go
about the
back to
defensive
Jola's
everything.
question, and I can actually help you out with that. In their last friendly match, you notice that the two players started. Both of them started, but
Mm-hmm.
there was Gundogan there, and there was another guy. I forgot his name that played alongside Cruz. So what they did was one thing you know about now, like Nagelsmann is he's a Leipzig disciple.
Yeah.
A little bit of the guy we had in our time. What's his name? All those 4-2-2-2 coaches.
Ragnick.
Ragnick.
Yeah.
He's also somewhat a Ragnick disciple. Ragnick,
Okay.
Ragnick is like a 4-2-2-2 guy.
Yes.
There's no perfect time to play that as an formation.
So who will be the two in front? Will be Fulkrug and what? Verts? Is that what you're thinking?
No. Fulkrug
And
may not start. Havertz has been starting their games as a false nine.
Okay.
So if you have Havertz, then you have either Leroy Sané that can provide width.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have Kroos, Gundogan, Musiala, and width.
Verts. Okay.
Depending on how you want to do, you can push one to the width, you can push one as a 10. Because they have a sound defense in Rudiger Tah, you have Rudiger Tah, you have Kimmich,
Yeah.
who plays as a right back, and I forgot Dam as the left back. Between Kimmich,
Mr.
Rudiger Tah, and this guy Schlotterbeck,
Yeah.
they are defensively sound. So now you have Kroos, and I forgot the guy's name that played beside Kroos. Andre. Now, if you have Andre and Kroos sitting in front of your defense and Gundogan that can run back and forth, that can form a balance, you have options. So now you can have Sani that can keep the width either on the right. Musiala has played on the wings before. He's played on the left, he's played on the right. So depending on how you want to do it, Musiala can play on the right, you can have Sani on the left, or switch it. Musiala can play on the left, you can have Sani on the right. You have, what's his name? Width as a 10, and at the back of them you have Kroos and Gundogan. That could work. Or if you want a much more defensive thing, then you can just say we can sit one of them. But I'm beginning to see that we might, at some point in time in this competition, Nagelsmann is so crazy, he might want to use both of them at the same time.
And then who and who?
To use Width
And Musiala.
And this is Musiala.
Yeah. But that's what I think is going to happen. I don't think Sane starts in his team. I think the last match has shown us that that's what most likely what he's going to do, where he plays where he plays a 4-2-3-1, where it's the back for Andrich, Kroos, Musiala, Gundogan, Wills, and then Havertz as a false 9.
And when you have that, it's actually good because now you have guys that can do their own thing. The second half, if it doesn't work,
he switches
bring him over, and Sane can just put his head down and run.
Yeah.
Dribble, cross free kick, and then you're in. So man, the team is very, very balanced. Depending on how this Nagelsmann wants to do, I don't think he's going to play this in a 3 at the back thing. I don't think he's going to do it.
No, I don't think can't play 3 at the back. No. Okay, so Yemi, you're picking Germany and what? Switzerland to go through. Okay. Henry.
Same thing. Switzerland and Germany.
Germany, Switzerland. Okay. You know what? I'm picking Hungary. I think Hungary will go through. Scotland.
Any injury to Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Scotland for me might be the third team. Scotland, I'm fighting between Scotland and Switzerland. Because funny enough now, Scotland is beginning to find a little bit of a groove. Listen, their team also is on his defensive solidity. I think they're decent, good in defensive. And then we the guy like McTominay. Now whenever I play,
McTominay can score anything. Can score at any point for them, And John McGinn is going to run that midfield. Yeah. Spliff goes. If Germany wants to go far, play Gundogan as the attacking mid, closest to the striker, Kroos and Kimmich behind him. Okay, let's go to Group B. So Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. That is the group of death. That is the group of death. Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. Henry, who you got?
I'm picking Croatia and Spain.
Croatia and Spain. Okay.
I think Italy is still in. I mean, they have some decent players, but I think they still be good too. But I think they just between Spain and Croatia, they still have a lot more experience and firepower. But I think if Spain also have shown a little bit of vulnerability lately, so they can leave an open door for like Italy. So I would say Croatia for sure, and a slight chance if Spain slips up for Italy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man.
Croatia to top the group. Now it's between Italy and Spain. It's weird for me because this Spain team, I don't see where their goals are coming from. They have a lot of creative players, but their striking position, Morata has not been in good form. Fabian Torres has not really been in good form. They're going to be relying on this thing. Lamine Yamal, who is 16, 17 years old.
17 years old. Yeah. How about that? How about the guy from Atletico Bilbao?
There's Pedri. Pedri is probably going to start because when he plays for the country, he's always good. There's Pedri. I don't know if Gavi is fit enough for this competition. But like, I'm looking, I don't see, they will create. They can create, but I just don't see how they're going to score. That's my problem. So this is between them. Now, listen, the second team is Italy. Italy is weird for me because normally this in the past you say Lucatelli.
Yeah. Barella.
And the third name would have played. But Lucatelli is not in this competition. Tonali is not in this competition. So who do you have? Jorginho,
Barella.
And probably Pellegrini in midfield.
Yeah.
Which is a functionable midfield.
Is he gonna go farther?
You have this in Chiesa. Chiesa is their main guy. Chiesa and what's his name again? You mentioned his name. Gosh, the name's
Barella.
Yeah, Chiesa and Barella. They will take this Italy as far as they go. So like it's weird for me. So I don't know. But I picked this in Croatia to top the group. The reason I picked Croatia to top the group is simply because of they understand each other and they've played so long together.
Yeah.
So and like in international competitions, they always find them.
Yeah. And I watched Croatia play against, was it Portugal yesterday?
Oh man.
Those guys, they are efficient.
Oh yeah,
they're not pretty to watch. They're not beautiful to watch. Absolutely not. But
they're not pretty to watch. But if you watch that game, you understand some things about this in Portugal, which I'm really, really very, very skeptical. Which we'll get into that later. But number one thing in Croatia is they are defensively very sound.
Yes.
In midfield, they play with a lot of patience.
Yes.
Modric can skip moments in games and they will still be fine because they have Kovacic, a matured man Kovacic now.
Yeah.
And then like you notice that in the last game they didn't rely on this guy Perisic.
No.
They left that much because they have players that can do that.
Yeah.
My fear now is with Spain and if Rodri does not have a good game, everything in Spain involves around Rodri.
Yeah.
Rodri is the guy. For this in Italy, Jorginho has to have a very good game. If Jorginho don't have a very good game, Italy goes nowhere. So
yeah. I hear that. I mean, I'm picking with. I worry for Spain because, like you said, I don't know where the goals are going to come from for them. Italy, I mean, like Split said, sleep on them at your own risk. And I know that I'm still kind of skeptical about Italy as well. Look, they didn't even make it to the Qatar World Cup, right? but I don't. It's the Azure, man. You know, it's like one thing they know how to do is be defensively solid. Their shape defensively never fails them.
Even right
And
now, defensively, they are not as
they
solid
are
as
not as solid. I know that. I know
the
that.
likes of Asebi is there. Demarco,
There's Bastoni. There's
there's
Acerbi.
Batsomi, there's Asebi. So at least that one is good.
Yeah.
They have years of playing together with one another. But like the thing there is, as great as they are defensively, they have players that when it comes to those major moments, they sneak them those goals.
Yeah.
Now in Italy, where are the goals gonna come from?
And this again, you guys are going to call me crazy. Shot in the dark. I think Gianluca Scamacca will shock people. This,
No. He had a very good season this
yeah,
past season.
yeah,
Skamaka had a very good season this past
yes,
season. He
yeah.
is the one, and there's a Raspadoni, or I forgot his name.
Raspadori.
Raspadoni. Now he didn't have a good season, so
Yeah,
hopefully when they wear their jerseys, they'll be fine.
yeah. Let me take one more comment before we go to the next group. Spliff says, "Now crayfish factory for Nigeria to provide service for your before. Why? Why Spliff? Why?
Yay!
Why?" Nah, the shade. Okay, so Group C, we have Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. Henry.
This group is actually more tricky than we think.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, on the surface, you might say an England and a Denmark, but I see Serbia causing a lot of problems in this group. So I actually want to, it will probably be between, for me, I think England will find a way to make it because there's just a lot of pressure they have to make it. And then it will be a toss-up between Serbia and Denmark.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to England. England, I don't think they're going to win the group decisively, though. If they top the group, they'll probably top it by like 1 point or maybe goal difference. And I'm going between Denmark and Serbia. I'm doing Serbia. I'm going Serbia. Maybe Denmark qualifies, through the back door. Maybe.
Can I ask a question before you guys proceed? Like,
yeah.
So what is the issue you're having with England? Like, don't you feel like this crop of England team is one of the best that we've seen in a while?
I mean, just like we said with Portugal, right? We like everything there except the coach, Okay. And look, what's his name? Roberto Martinez had the golden generation of Belgium the entire time they were golden, right? Like every single all the years Roberto Martinez was in charge of Belgium, that was their golden generation, and nothing happened. I can say the same with Southgate. I don't know about you people, but I think this is the most talented player for player, probably the most talented midfield and offense I've seen in the England national team. About 2 decades now, and nothing has happened. So I don't expect anything to be different. Yeah, they will get to the business stage of this competition, but I mean, what have they done in the business stages of the previous competition?
Okay, so in essence, you're just saying the fine margins, the tactical,
fine margins.
Those are the things that will make the difference. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yemi, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, England.
England has no choice but to leave this group. If they don't, then this is Southgate.
You said, but to lift the cup?
No, they have to win this group. And
win the group. Okay.
They have to get to the semifinals. On paper, but this we'll get back to deep nitty gritty. No, but right now with the team that they have presently going for this competition, they should be one of the favorites. But we can also talk about those that are not going. We'll have that conversation later, right?
Yeah.
Who miss? But listen, with this team, it's England. I am thinking Serbia. The reason I'm thinking Serbia is because of 3 players. Mitrovic, who had a good season.
Yep.
Saudi, of course. Vlahovic.
Yep.
Who towards the end of the season started finding
smoke.
Tosic. I said that because Serbia lately they've been conceding a lot of goals. If they are going to go far in this competition, they will have to probably outscore teams. The coach should probably think of using probably a 3-4-1-2 where he pairs both strikers
together. You
and
think
play
that'll work?
Ruben.
Vlahovic, Mitrovic. You think that'll work?
Vlahovic Mitrovic will work because both of them don't have much problem dropping back and help link up play
Yeah.
if they need to, and they are very very dynamic. If you play both of them and this attach it behind them, the good thing you're going to do is you're going to push their defensive line back, which will give you much more space for your defense and midfield to actually take a couple of steps forward.
But if they've been conceding a lot of goals and you push their
If
defensive line up,
if they've been conceding a lot of goals, there's nothing that will change that right now.
that would okay.
Best thing your best room of this in defense is offense.
Yeah.
If I see Mitrovic and Vlahovic in front, if I'm one of the center backs, brother, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna sit. And you don't want a 2-on-2 with those guys. You're probably gonna lose. So
Yeah.
guess what? That means one more player sits back there and stays with them. Guess what you've done? Going forward, you have 7 players facing your 2, which means they're one-man short. Which means you don't have to deal with an extra player or occupying spaces and creating chances for the next team because you have target time. And then it's when you see both of them as a defender, you are afraid. There has to be a little bit of fear because in both of them, they can score in a game, in a game and this thing. They can score 2-3 goals between this thing, both of them in a game. That alone is good enough for you to win the competition. So
Let me say,
I think in the last game against Sweden too, it was similar where we took a I think it was a 3-5-2 approach, right? Where they used both of them up front. Savage played right behind them, so it was they had that defensive core because they know, as Yemi said, it's almost like the best form of defense for them is to attack.
it's
So
to
they
attack.
play to their strength.
Yeah.
yeah. Let me take comments quickly. Spliff goes. Donnarumma, Dimarco, Bastoni, Jorginho, Barella, Chiesa, and Retegui will be major men for Italy. Retegui, yeah, I hear that. I still prefer Scamacca up top, though. I don't know. I'm in love with that.
Scamacca starts for me on top because he's
Yeah. Kaiser goes. Who will be starting center back pair for England? What's their experience? And did they play as center backs for their clubs? We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, Kaiser. And we're going to address that when we get to the section where what players were left at home and stuff. Because but let's finish this group thing first. Now we're going to Group D: Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France.
I think this is the group of death. I don't know why people are thinking. I think this is the group of death.
No. I mean, well, I think it's one of the groups of death. All right, Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. Well, listen, people are going to cry in this group. People are going to cry. I'm just going off the rip right now. Poland goes through. I think Poland will go through, and I think France will go through. Austria, Netherlands will go home. I'm predicting Netherlands goes home, and maybe Austria qualifies through the back door.
Between me and you, you are smoking weed.
I have it flipped slightly.
Okay, go ahead, Henry.
I have France, Netherlands, and Poland sneaking in.
France, Netherlands. So who's topping the group for you? France?
They have no choice.
Oh, okay, all right. So France number 1, Netherlands number 2,
Poland sneaking in.
Poland backdoor, and Austria.
So that's why Netherlands is going through. In their last friendly match, you notice that Coman has figured out something. The past games, a player couldn't be used well because they didn't just know how to play. Frimpong. Now listen, Coman has now said, okay, what is Frimpong's major strength going forward, right? Going forward, crossing, dribbling.
Yeah.
Instead of me playing you at right back and us licking goals, how about I play Dumfries as a right back?
Because that's what Xabi Alonso did. Xabi Alonso put him on the right wing.
So play Frimpong as a 7. What that does is, you are not trying to shoehorn somebody at a 7. You already have a perfect 7.
Yeah.
Which now tells you, in their last game, De Jong did not play. De Jong is coming back. They have players. This guy, Gravenberg, played okay. He played well. Gravenberg is in the team. So now, the team is somewhat balanced. And they have experienced guys that have played together for years. So everybody understands each other's game. So it's a good team. On the left, you can play this guy from Newcastle. What's his name?
Newcastle.
No. Liverpool. Gakpo.
Oh, Cody Gakpo. Yeah.
Gakpo can play from the left.
Memphis center forward.
Memphis center forward.
No.
And there's Zexi.
What about Brobe? Where does Brobe play if Memphis playing center forward?
There's Zexi. Bromby comes off the bench.
Okay.
There's Zexi now, young up and coming guy.
So we're playing Memphis ahead of Zirkzee.
It could be. It depends. In this kind of competition, you need experience because it's once every 4 years. This is not your league game that you can play one game and mess up, and then you have chance.
And then you have the next game too. Yeah.
This game, experience will play a huge part because the nerves you feel in this type of competition is different from the nerves you feel
in club football.
In club football, yeah.
So okay.
Listen, either Zexi or Depay, whoever you start, you have enough firepower, and we have Weghorst too. So hey.
Okay, Group E. Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, and Ukraine.
I have Belgium and Ukraine going through.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Last group: Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and the Czech Republic.
This one is weird.
I think
Portugal.
Go ahead.
Portugal. And I want to see Turkey go through. Portugal first, Turkey second.
Okay. Henry?
I say Portugal and maybe Czech.
Portugal, Czech. Okay. Yeah, I like to support the underdog, but Georgia, nah. Georgia is not even the only even Georgia, the state is probably has a better team than. But yeah, I'll do Portugal and Turkey. I think Portugal and Turkey go through. Let us move on to the next topic. We've spent a lot of time talking about this. Let's talk about the most surprising omission and inclusion in the England squad. And Yemi, I want you to start, and I also want you to address Kaiser's question about who will be the center back partnership, right? Because let's not lie. I mean, for a second there, I thought, Gareth Southgate's nudes were in Harry Maguire's phone. Turns out, somebody hacked into it and wiped the phone clean, so he doesn't have to pick Maguire any longer. That being said, what surprised you in the omission? In the squad, and what do you think the center back pairing will be?
Okay, so basically, let me say what do I think the center back pairing will be?
Yeah.
If Stones is fit, which I pray he is, Southgate might play Stones and John.
John Stones and Lewis Dunk?
Yeah, Lewis Dunk. I think so.
Okay.
Left to me, would I have done that? Nope. But let us go. So listen, I have addressed the centre back issue. Either that or he plays Stones and Konsa. So now listen, the missing part, there are a lot for me. In defense, I get it. If there was a competition that this Maguire deserved to go, was this one. Because as terrible as Manchester United was, he was one of our better players. So if he had gone in this competition, I wouldn't have had any problem. But in center defense, there was a couple of omissions that didn't make any sense to me. Tomari?
Yep.
And Braithwaite. I can mention a lot. The left back that plays for Newcastle, what's his name?
Lewis Hall.
No, not Hall. Poletino or something like that. Gosh, I remember his name. His name just went. And the left back that plays for Crystal Palace.
Tyreek Mitchell.
Mitchell. Mitchell was one guy. Either him or Colwell. One of them should have played. They are left footers. Or Colwell for me was like a major shocker because he can play as a left back and he can play as a centre back. Him not going and Braithwaite not going are like some of the omissions that I did not get, but that is done. Now, going forward, his midfield, I have no problem with it, except for the new guy that is coming. It'll be a good competition for him. But in attack, two players that I would have wished went because they will give us something totally different was Grealish and Rashford. More so Grealish. You can throw in Sterling because whenever Sterling plays for England, he performs.
Yep.
Towards the end of the season for Chelsea, Sterling was beginning to prove and do more stuff for Chelsea. So Sterling was a guy that I wasn't that scared, but Grealish was a guy that I wish went. Because Grealish is that type of player that if your system and stuff ain't working, you can throw Grealish in and you just go be a maverick.
Exactly.
Get the ball, sidestep, dribble, go and give us free kick.
He can unlock. He's an unlocker.
Unlock or get you free kick or run at players. When he gets those free kick, now you now have the Hurricanes, the Trents that are good at free kick to capitalize on them.
Exactly.
If you are relying on Gordon to do all those things, who is a young player, or Foden, they are not going to do much of that because Gordon he runs on a straight line. Then he checks in and plays short. You are still, I don't know how they will be able to break a low line defense. So that's just my point. But like apart from that, I've mentioned the players that I wish went. The different question completely is how would Southgate set up his team? That is the major problem because even with what they have now, they still have more than enough to get to the competition final. I'm not saying win it, but play good football, defend well, and get to the final of the competition.
Yeah. Henry, what are your thoughts? Who is your most surprising omission from the squad?
I know Grealish didn't have a great season, but I think he's that one, just similar to how he is with City, where you see that he's sort of like a surplus, but just because of the dynamism he brings to the team and how in the blink of an eye he can come on and change things, I think he's someone that they should have taken. I think he probably assessed his form with City, and we've also heard news recently that even Pep himself felt like his form dipped, and he expected more from him this year. It happens. People have players have off years, but I think he'll have been good. But more also over, I think much more important for me is I felt like Southgate should have gone back to Okija and begged Ben White, because think about it, right? That's someone who could have covered for Walker in case Walker gets injured, and also played center back. There's nothing that stops Ben White and a Stone from playing center back, and it would be perfect, So typically, that's why I always, in my own opinion, if I was a coach and I'm a coach, I always like players that can literally slot in or play either 2 or 3 roles. Not that they could be a specialist player, but it's almost like they can fit it into a role and play seamlessly. Like that's their natural role. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Stones. He's almost like we also forget there was a time where City deployed Stones to play like 4, right? Was he 4? For there was a period in time where he kind of played like as a 4, and it was different. We saw a different side of Stone. I actually can even say that period kind of revitalized Stone because that's when we, him playing at the back. This guy, but he kind of helped his career. But I don't know. That's one thing I've never understood. I know they said there was a personal thing that happened in one of the tournaments. He came back home and said he was never going to play for them anymore. But listen, with something of this magnitude and with the immense pressure, because I'm not going to lie, this tournament is probably the biggest tournament that he has the biggest pressure. After this, he's done. If he doesn't do good, and doing good, by the way, is winning. It's not
Exactly.
coming in second place.
Exactly.
He's not making it to top.
Exactly.
It's not like I'm sorry, my fellow Arsenal fan. He's not being top. Making semi-final and saying, top four
Yeah.
is a trophy, but he needs to win,
Yeah.
and I don't see that happening. That's his
Yeah.
problem, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who. Just Grealish and Ben White.
Yeah, I'm shocked that he didn't take Grealish, and I know that when we talk about players who are able to unlock defenses, you know, yes, you have Phil Foden there, but you need Grealish. You need Jack Grealish, and also again, this might sound crazy. I'm surprised Sancho did not even have a look in at all. Yes, Sancho had a horrible time at United. He did have a horrible time at United, yes, but let's not pretend this guy, wasn't absolutely balling coming into the end of the season, dragged this team to the Champions League final. And
Let
again,
me
he's one of those players that can unlock a defense.
let me
Now
say something to that. So
huh?
let me say something to some of the points we brought. You brought Ben White. Ben White is not going to play under Southgate again. He said
Mhm.
so. That is not going to happen unless if the FA comes in and try and do something about that. But with England, we know that probably the FA is not going to do it. And then with the FA, why? There are a lot of players that can play as a right back, and they have a lot of players that can play centre back. There are centre backs that can't make it into the team because Southgate is there.
Yeah.
The thing with Grealish is a decent plan B. Grealish is like a Dembele or probably a this Coman
Yeah.
or probably a this Danielson for Brazil during the time of Ronaldinho. When your plan A ain't working, bring in a Grealish to just go cause chaos.
Yeah.
Get under somebody's skin in defense, take the ball and just tell him run at that defender for 5 minutes. When you run at that defender, what happens? You
Give me
run
a
to
yellow
your right
card.
foot, you kick it, yellow card.
Yep.
From there, we have a free kick. What that does is it pushes the defense back. But also, Grealish can suck you in, find those need bid pass. But the thing about it is, even with the team that they have right now, if Southgate can set them up well and play the right players in the right place and get his system well in terms of transitioning from defense to midfield to attack, one thing that Southgate has not figured out is his transitioning from defense to midfield. In some games, the defense is good, the midfield sucks, and the attack is good. In some games, the midfield is okay, the defense sucks, and the attack is good. Southgate have still not been able to find a proper blend between defense,
Yeah.
midfield, and attack. If they can find that, England has all the players they need for them to win this competition.
So
Yeah.
what's their ideal starting 11 then? In an
If you
ideal
ask me,
world?
no. Southgate's ideal starting 11 will probably be Walker on the right, Trippier on the left, Stones and Dunk. In midfield, you're probably going to see a Declan Rice and maybe a Trent or a Gallagher. You see Gallagher. On the right, you're going to see Saka. In the 10 position, you are going to see Jude Bellingham. And maybe on the left, you can play Gordon or Gordon or like a Phil Foden, which is not a bad lineup, depending on how you're going to use it. In major international competitions, where England has really faltered, minus their transition, is they don't have a tempo setter. Somebody that can put his leg on the ball and slow things down, speed things up, but also can carry the ball and drive through the middle. If it's not driving, it can find those pockets of passes that can move the team forward. England has not had that since probably post.
Yeah.
Do you think they have it now? I think they have it now.
They have it now in two players, in as much as they are exceedingly very young. I
Jude.
mean, if I'm starting the team, my right back will be Walker or Trent. I'll put Trent on the bench. Trent is a good plan B.
Yeah.
Put Walker on the right, based on what they have right now. Probably play. They don't have a left back. If Shaw is fit, but Shaw is not going to be fit. So if can play Trippier there, left to me, I'll play Stones and play Don. There's no problem in playing Don if they are threats, physical, they are tall, they can clear ball and not. In my midfield will be Declan Rice and Kobe Mainoo. Play Foden. Spliff is not gonna like this. Play Foden from the left. but he's only playing from.
I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound.
Hold on. Let me finish. Play Foden from the left. Play Jude Bellingham as a 10. Play Saka on the right, and play Harry Kane. Now, Foden is not a left winger. Foden is just coming in from the left. We are going to have two of them so that they can help England in creating chances. The weight is going to come from Trippier on the left. Foden will play in that pocket between the number 10 and the left winger. Foden by himself playing as a 10 under England hasn't worked.
Okay.
It hasn't.
If that's the rationale,
now, the good thing about that also is the fact that Foden has had a very, very good goal scoring form for his team. Where did he play? He didn't play as a 10. Most of the time, he played from the right or from the left. Even for Man City. Jude Bellingham has had a very good goal scoring form and assist form for Real Madrid. Where did he play? Almost as a second striker.
Yeah.
So when you play those, but you now have Meno who can control and dictate pace with much more experience like Declan Rice, that is the base of their defense. Now you can have either Trippier push forward so that Foden can check into the middle. So now you have two creative players now. Jude Bellingham and Foden, Saka make it 3 to create for Harry Kane. And Harry Kane can drop into the midfield. Either Jude Bellingham, Foden can push up and they know what to do when they get the goal. They can score. I am not saying Foden play as a left guy. He's not. You will waste him. But if you play him as a 10, he'll be wasted too. Man City, Pep knows this. So that's why Foden hardly plays as a 10. You will see Foden either play from the left or play from the right.
I concur. I agree with you. The only other thing that I have is a small hot take, and you guys are either going to agree or disagree with me. I have a feeling this guy is not going to, Saka is not going to be a regular fixture. I have a feeling he's going to play Palmer on the right. You know, that's
if he plays Palmer on the right, that'll be a major problem because all those players we're talking about, Foden, Jude Bellingham, and Palmer, where do they do most of their damage? In the inside channel. Who's going to provide it? So now if you are Declan Rice now, if all your passes goes this through the middle, you're going to be in trouble because that is easily predictable.
Yeah.
Now this in an international competition, most of the times the first thing you think about is defensive strength. It will take you about 4-5 seconds for your right back to cover that whole space to get to the forward. By that 2-3 seconds of delay,
but don't go.
That chance where you need, you don't go now. Because all these guys, they're not there. Link, lollipop. You have to be proactive. That's why I said if Declan Rice and either Kobe Mino sit, that can provide this insurance. Declan Rice can slip to the left to cover the left back. Mino can sit as a 6. Meno can slip and cover the right back. Declan Rice can slip as a 6. Either way, we are giving room for either Walker or Trippier or probably whoever is playing on the left to push forward. So that Saka can make, but like if you play Palmer, every time Palmer gets the ball, he's going in. Saka can get the ball and go straight the byline sometimes. Palmer doesn't do that. Palmer wants to cut in and shoot. Wants to cut in and shoot. Bellingham wants to cut in and shoot. Everybody's cutting in.
Everyone's cutting and shoot. Yeah. I mean, if he's going to if he's going to bench Saka on that right wing, I don't think Palmer is the way to go. If you're going to bench Saka, maybe Jared Bowen, maybe, but why would you bench Saka? You know.
Yeah, I don't want him to bench Saka. I just see that because ever since what's his name, this guy came out. I don't know if it was Owen or someone. He in the next few friendlies, he's been doing that exactly. Where Saka's been coming in from the bench. Palmer's been starting.
I think it's a bad idea.
The rationale was that he had
England. Every time Saka plays for England, he has played well. Reward that. He is your natural right winger. Everybody can be cutting in without one winger. And with the way Southgate plays, he relies a lot on crosses. Who is going to cross the ball? Palmer? No.
Let me take comments, man. Let me take comments. Spliff says England press will win it for them with pen and paper as usual. Of course. Do you see how they're already slandering? They're already slandering Kobe Manu. They're already slandering Bukayo Saka for the loss. It's crazy. Belgium will load the group and then get knocked out in the quarterfinals as usual. Facts, facts. A leopard cannot change its skin. Yeah, I mean it's spots.
Yeah, but
Um,
it will be without Martinez this time.
yeah, exactly. For the first time, the three lions were selected on form and not reputation. And and Spliff, I understand that. I hear you. Um, but if the selection was really on form, this is the time Maguire should have entered the team, not the
This is the
previous
guy.
time.
Yeah,
That's correct. So
and I see this,
it's just all backwards for me.
and I see this selection by split. Gallagher. I saw Gallagher play. I saw his passing maps. All of Gallagher passes are sideways, sideways, sideways. Declan Rice sideways, sideways, sideways. How are you going to go forward?
Yeah,
You need somebody that can put his foot on the ball, slow things down, and pick it back up. When you watch Meno play, you're a national fan. Henry, you're a national fan. When you watch Meno play, what do you see? Like, be honest.
No, he's a really good player. He has a way of, you know, he has a way of dictating the pace,
he breaks the lines. He's a good line breaker.
He's a good line
especially for
breaker.
his age. Yeah, and he reminds me of this one guy who he reminds me a little bit of Kudus, right? In terms of like the his work rate, in terms of his
Yeah,
work
yeah,
rate.
yeah.
You know how United used to have Buck back in the days, and you never really see him do anything flashy. But that's
hmm
like the engine house of Manchester. That's how
When you
he is.
remove him, you will see what he's doing.
So
Exactly.
that's what I'm
Then
saying.
never
Like,
Casala will bust. You'll be like, wow.
so that's what I'm
Yeah,
Exactly.
saying. Like, I'm seeing a guy like Gallagher. Gallagher he can try to do the Kante thing. He will try, but on the ball, everything goes sideways,
I'm
and
not
that's
gonna
why
lie.
it's
Gallagher gives him McTominay vibes. Gallagher gives him McTominay vibes. Big man said.
I like
he
McTominay
can
because
he can pop into the box with the odd goal. He can do that. But when you want to progress the ball, I wouldn't put Gallagher in there. Declan Rice, again, is not a ball progressor. Declan Rice progresses the ball by running through the midfield. Yes,
which is
right,
fine, which is
which
fine.
is
So that's
good.
where the
If you,
which is good. So that's where
yeah,
the balance is. And now listen, if I'm Southgate, I'm thinking everybody play what you play for your club. Now I'm looking at Stones. I'm like, hey Stones, I see that you always drop into the midfield. You provide that body. Can you try that? You can play
mm,
Dunk. Dunk can sit. Stones
mm,
can play that square. You have that square. You notice
yeah,
that in a lot of games you see 3-4, the box. You see that
yeah,
box, then you see
yeah,
three up front. There's
yes.
no problem in playing that. You can have a variation of Stones. You can have Stones, Declan Rice, um, Maino, Jude Bellingham,
Mm.
or Foden. Between Jude Bellingham and Foden,
Something
they
will
can
happen.
rotate. They can
Yeah,
rotate. Find those spots. If Kane comes back in, automatically Jude Bellingham is feeding those spaces. You don't want Jude
yeah.
Bellingham running at you. You don't want Foden running at you because when they get inside the box, one thing happens: they score.
To
They
go. Yeah,
always score when they are in and around the box.
yeah.
Saka is on the right, cutting in, pushing the brother man. England has the players. Is Southgate? Can you get the defense to midfield to attack balance? If you can get those balance and they work together as a unit, there's no
All right.
stopping.
Flip says Foden is better centrally than Jude. I agree with that. But Jude is the commercial face of England at the moment at the Euros with number 10 on his back. I agree. I agree that in that 10 position, Foden will be more technical and more surgical than Jude Bellingham.
I disagree.
Jude Bellingham's Jude Bellingham's littleness comes inside the box or on the edge of the box.
So
But
basically,
when
now
it
this
comes
is
to
the
creating chances, I don't think Jude creates chances like that.
So that's the thing. So now this, let me tell you this: in European football, in national team football, physicality plays a huge part. Again, I tell you, Man City they play different type of football. Everything their football is cream of the crop. But there's a reason why Pep doesn't play Foden through the middle in major games.
Mm,
He's a guy you can pump off the ball and he can go missing. Foden needs the ball. 1, 2, 3 touch. If you put him in midfield, sometimes he can get missing without getting the ball. The reason why some of these players they play wide is because they can get the ball, get a feel of the ball, then drift into the middle. Go and check Man City's game. Whenever Foden plays as a 10, a lot of times you can't find him. But also, he's playing behind Rodri and probably Kovacic. You see what I'm saying? A Gundogan. Even when Gundogan was there, Foden wasn't playing as a 10. As great as Bernardo Silva is not a 7. But there's a reason why he plays from the right. He plays from the right because a lot of times when you put them in the middle, it's difficult. So sometimes they go on the right so that they go on wings so that they get a feel of the ball. When you are wide, you will always get the ball. When you get the ball, you can now turn in and start to create. But when you plant Foden in the middle, you will find him, you won't see him. Unless if your team is extremely dominating. The other team is at the back foot and all they are doing is defending. If all they are doing is defending, yes, you can play Foden as your 10. But you need Jude Bellingham because work rate, Jude Bellingham gives you more work rate. He can track back, he can defend, slide it back for all those England passion teams.
I want to see how. Honestly, I want to see how Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham will gel because I've not seen much of that. Again, those are two players. Kane likes dropping deep. I hear that, and that's probably that bodes well for Bellingham because he does his work in the box anyway. So Flip goes. I will play Pickford, Walker, Stones, Dunk. So that's like a back three. Walker, Stones, Dunk, Rice, Bellingham, Gallagher, Trent, Gordon, Foden, Kane. Oh, okay. So Split says it's been a 3-5-2.
That's a Tata, B.
Yeah,
Tata will play that, but Tata is not Southgate. Southgate is generally.
The Foden needs to float freely. He shouldn't be restricted. He holds England's keys. He goes again. Yemi, Pep does not coach England. Line up the 3 Lions knowing Pep is not the manager. That's a great point.
No. I'm going based on Southgate. Southgate is not going to play 3 at the back. In all of his friendlies, which of them did he play 3 at the back? He's not going to play 3 at the back. He hasn't played 3.
Well, that's why I said he would. He said he would. I mean, maybe he said he would. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Now, we're just taking quick prediction on this one. Who are your early Balon d'Or candidates? There's not that many of them out there. So let's just put three candidates.
Oh, I don't. 3 is too much for me. I only have 2. Vinny.
Oh, okay, all right.
3 is too much.
Yeah.
Vinny and who?
Too much.
Vinny or Bellingham.
Vinny.
Okay.
Vinicius.
Vinicius. You know,
I have something to add. Sorry. If I actually think,
hold on. If Messi wins the Copa America,
Messi.
Vinny, he means Vinny.
Oh, Vinny. Okay.
If Messi outshines Vinny, that wins the Copa America.
And what? And then what?
I don't really understand the point.
So if he wins MLS and Copa America, he should win Balon d'Or.
Winning international football counts a lot. In Balon d'Or. He's Messi. He's that great. Anytime Messi has a good season, he tends to win the Balon d'Or. I think it will be the greatest injustice of all time. If Messi wins Copa America and the MLS Cup and ends up winning the Balon d'Or ahead of Vinicius, that's crazy.
Let me tell you my own theory. My own theory is whoever wins, I think it's closely tied now between Vinny, maybe slightly a little bit higher Vinny, and Bellingham. Whoever does the most, if Bellingham somehow England wins and Bellingham has a crazy tournament, he goes to Bellingham.
He will win it.
In Copa America, Vinny does Vinny stuff again. Vinny wins it too.
I hear that.
I think that's the tiebreaker here.
I hear that.
Yeah.
If Messi wins Copa America, Vinny is in trouble. True? Yeah, get out of my head.
You people tend to forget about this thing. Major competition, Messi is Messi. Messi is killing it in MLS, in as much as MLS is MLS.
Yeah, which is younger.
But in international football, Vinny needs to show himself in this international football. This is wrong time.
He does.
This is the wrong time.
He does.
Vinny push for Balon d'Or because there is Messi and there is international football. Vinny has not yet done major stuff in international football. You are completely correct. If Jude Bellingham team enter final and Jude Bellingham scores like 4 goals, 1 or 2 assists, and Vinny scores 2 goals and 1 assist, Jude Bellingham is winning. In as much if Jude Bellingham sometimes he just plays rubbish. I don't understand the hype around the guy, but
I don't. I don't either.
Oh no, I disagree.
I don't either. I don't understand the hype around Jude Bellingham, honestly.
Then it's almost like saying you don't understand the hype around Musiala.
No. 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 A dog and a horse are not the same thing. What are you talking about?
Please. People need to start this playing fine in this.
Yeah, I feel like bringing out my red card.
I see different. I think he's one of the first players, legit England players, who for the first time is actually not about the hype alone. He actually he can play. He knows like Bellingham can play.
Was Rooney about the hype?
Let's not go there. Rooney could score. I'm just saying more as a complete player.
Bellingham is more complete a player than Rooney.
I'm not. He's a midfielder versus a striker. I'm not going to do that.
No.
Pure footballing skill.
Right now, I prefer Bellingham. I love everything I say about Bellingham. Both on and off the field. For me, he's much more of a complete player.
I think Henry just likes Bellingham's haircut.
Mr. Henry,
remember when I'm thinking of also when he was playing for Dortmund, though, guys. There's footage to back these things up. And remember how old he is. This guy is still 20.
What he did when he was a young player. I ask you a simple question. Talk about pure football. Are you saying Bellingham is a better all-around footballer?
Have you seen Bellingham run through a midfield and score a goal? Have you seen Bellingham take more than 3 touches or 2 touches and score a goal?
No. See again. Remember, I said it before. I said
you can't even play in traffic.
That's why I'm saying. No, don't say that. Don't say that. I again say here, right? I don't like comparing players that don't play the same position because I think automatically it's an unfair.
Let me help you out with something. Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham is a midfielder.
I don't. Brother,
midfielder / supporting, supporting striker.
What's Rooney?
Rooney's a 9.
Rooney started as a supporting striker.
Or supporting striker, so like an 8. So maybe if you're saying the 8 position, yeah, I'll give that because he's more of a goal scorer, right? If it's goal scoring, where we're using as the criteria, I would definitely give it to.
I'm not saying goal scoring,
but I'm saying as more of a complete player, someone who can take hold of the game, do like good link up plays. I right now would choose Bellingham. That's me. It's more of a personal opinion, yes. But as a striker, if I needed someone to give me goals, definitely I'll go with Rooney.
All right, well, let's move it on, guys. Take comments. I think Vinny is clear of Jude for Balon d'Or. It's not close. I want to agree with that. Spliff goes, Ogana recency bias. Now soup with your mouth. You don't forget Rooney. Spliff goes, I would compare Jude with prime Dele Alli. Rooney is a generational footballer, incomparable. That is spot on. Okay, last topic.
I'm going to wait until after Europe ends and then we'll come back.
We'll come back to this.
Ensure it's 3 of us again.
I'll be there. In fact, we might even bring Spliff on the podcast for that day. Yes, I'll bring Spliff.
Let's just see. Because Spliff will not take it easy on you.
It's fine. It's not about recency bias. Like if you see players that have great poise that can dictate pace of the game, there are games where there are games where even the finals. Remember these finals, right? For the longest, a lot of players went missing for Madrid. Right?
Including Jude Bellingham.
I'm not arguing with that. But who gave the assist to the goal?
See, that's the problem with you people.
That was one.
That's all it takes now. Oga Kwame.
Oh my God! This is why people think Marcus Rashford is a good footballer. Because he does one thing.
No. That's what it takes sometimes. It's not all games you're going to be dominating. Can we agree on that? It's not all games you're going to dominate. In that final, Dortmund had a better performance as a team compared to Madrid. But what justifies the means? Who won the game? Who won the game, guys? Who won the
If
game?
you're talking about assist, if you're talking
Real
about
Madrid won the game.
I'm not. No,
okay,
Jamie. I'm not just
hold
talking
on,
about
hold on.
assist
You've
alone.
spoken a lot. You've spoken a lot.
No,
So,
no,
Mr.
because
Henry,
you're not
I beg
allowing
you.
me finish my
Mr.
point, though.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not allowing me. It's the same thing. People in the group too were saying, "Oh, it's Madrid again. They played nonsense." No, but who won the trophy? It doesn't matter. The end justifies the means. It doesn't matter how it looks. If they got the job done, football is all about goal scoring. It is goal scoring. Every other thing is surrendering. If you cannot
Mr.
put the
Dola,
ball at the back of the
I know
at the
you're a
back of the net,
moderator, but we have signed just for 1 minute. So let me address it. If it's about goal scoring, Jude Bellingham is nowhere close to Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney is
why are
even
we
the
switching
second.
this
Oh no
way?
no 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 no
I
no no
already
no
said
no
goal
no no
scoring
no
is
no 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 no
winning
no.
now.
You said at the end justifies the means. He gave
Yeah,
the assist, he scored the goals. You can't compare. They are not comparable.
but I'm not
Rooney,
comparing though. Why
no,
why are we
okay.
doing
So when
this?
you're talking about this all around football, when you're talking about you mentioned all around football, Rooney
Yes.
is a better defender compared to Jude Bellingham.
Yes.
Without question.
Work
Rooney,
rate.
work rate. Jude
Work
Bellingham
rate,
is
I give
nowhere
it
close
to
to
Rooney.
Rooney.
I
Let me
agree.
no, guy. You finish. Now it's my turn. My turn. Just like Skip Bayless should say, it's my turn. In terms of creativity, Jude Bellingham is nowhere close.
Nothing.
Rooney.
Not even close.
At Jude Bellingham's age now.
Not even close.
You need to go and really Google Rooney. In terms of what else? What else?
Long shot, long distance shot, dribbling.
In terms of assist, have you seen guy?
Okay,
This is
let's.
the
We're gonna move on. We're
You
going
guys
to move it
talk,
on.
you don't need to give me the chance to give a review, though, right? You remember once again, I never even brought this comparison up. You guys were the ones that said, "Oh, Rooney." I always said Rooney is a better goal scorer. Even work rate, I admit. I'm just saying, for me personally,
For you prefer Jude Bellingham.
personally,
Okay.
I would choose Bellingham for the purpose of what I want him to do in my
You are
team.
not
Now,
fan.
that is more of a personal opinion,
Okay,
and
I
it
got
doesn't
you.
change. It doesn't take anything
I
away.
respect that.
Also, remember, guys, you guys are Man U fans. You probably saw much more of Wayne Rooney than I ever did. Did you understand what I mean?
So let me help you out with something. I am not an Arsenal fan, but I believe that Thierry Henry is probably the GOAT of Premier League football. I'm not an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, but some people.
Dennis Bergkamp is also.
I'm not an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Dennis Bergkamp is probably one of the best 9.5s.
Yes. Ever in my life.
Probably the best 9.5.
Yes.
In the Premier League, and I'm not an Arsenal.
And when we talk about footballing brain, Bergkamp probably has the best footballing brain I've seen in my life.
Patrick Vieira, there's nothing like Patrick Vieira in this league. The closest we had was Yaya Toure, and maybe Pogba.
Facts.
I'm giving you players, and I'm not an Arsenal fan. We are talking about players. Guy now. Okay,
Spliff goes, brother. What Rooney did at Euro 2004, go figure. He was 18 years old. Bellingham is good, but mostly statistics justified. Let's go. Let's move on. Let's move it on. Manchester City is suing the Premier League. Manchester City is suing the Premier League. What are your thoughts? Like, what the F was my reaction? Henry, Manchester City has denied you 2 Premier League titles.
No, but why are we acting all surprised? I don't know why we're shocked. I mean, you're the lawyer. if they were your clients and you can outmuscle them in court fees and lawyer fees, what will you do?
So yeah, I think this is, from Manchester City's point of view, it's a war of attrition, right? How well can you tire out the other side,
Exactly.
right? Delay, jam up the system with like BS lawsuits, and maybe you will force their hand into, settling or something. I think that's all it is. And it is not lost on me that Khaldoun Al-Mubarak, their chief, we don't usually hear Mubarak speak. The man came out and did a whole, I don't know who he talked, was it Sky Sports or BBC? I don't care. So I think they're taking the battle like away from just pure FFP. They're jamming up the courts. They're making it a media battle. They're making it all about the optics. And It's great tactics. Listen, it is great tactic from the Manchester City camp and their lawyers. Their lawyers are doing what they should do. They
And I
really are.
agree with you. It's probably the only thing that they can do.
Yeah.
That can make them at least get some type of victory from this.
Yeah.
Because carrying all that, forget it.
And look what happens if, for whatever reason, the court rules that the financial fair play rules are indeed illegal or unfair. Imagine what that does to the 115 charges that's coming up in November or December, whenever the trial is. So this is this is just pure. It's brilliant. It's brilliant tactics from them, honestly. As I said, Man City are moving mad. They're moving mad. They're moving mad, and it's shout out to them. If you listen, if you're going to cheat, you might as well just cheat all. Don't pick your lane and just go all the way. Don't do halfway.
Do it with your full chest, Jagaban style.
Big Man City, exactly. Man City be like Emilio Khan.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Man City are bullies. They are bullies.
Yeah.
They're like Real Madrid. You win is not enough for you. You got to bully your way and do everything.
Exactly.
But but the thing is, you guys said it all. This is the best way. The best way for you to defend is to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Attack. So as they're attacking, it will force them to work out a settlement. There's nothing that is going to happen to Man City because the need leads Man City. The league needs Man City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if anything, in European competition, Man City is carrying the league up high. And they just won the Champions League last 2 seasons. What do you want to do? You want to relegate that team? The league, Man City is already bringing a lot of hype to the Premier League.
Yes.
And the league needs a team like Man City. So at the end of the day, it will just be a pat in the back and stuff. The only thing that I think this will force the league to revisit their rule and be a little lenient on every other team.
I don't know if that's fair though.
No, it's not fair. Brother, man, this world is not fair. Everything is not bringing the same revenue as
exactly. But I think this will set a big precedent for other teams suing the Premier League. Imagine if you're a team, you miss out on Europa League or Champions League because of financial fair play. Had Everton gotten relegated because of the 4-point deduction? Had who else? Nottingham Forest gotten relegated because of the 2-point deduction? Imagine what that would look like a year from now when they're struggling to come back to the Premier League. So I think Man City are really they're bringing the fight to the league, and they're like, yeah, do your worst. Let's see how well you can defend this. And if Manchester City prevail in any way, shape, or form, the league is in trouble because the flooding that will come by way of lawsuits, it'll be crazy. Anyway, we have come to the end of the podcast. At this point, we usually have like a non-footballing question, but we have to wrap it up right now. We're past the hour mark. EJ, who usually edits these things, will bite my head off if we drag this out. But thank you guys for joining us in the comments. I appreciate it. Kaiser, Spliff, we're going to come back sometime, maybe during or after the Euros, to talk about this whole Jude Bellingham thing with Henry. So look out for an invite. Look out for an invite.
Please make sure all of you are complete so the roasting can be complete.
I'll be here. I'm going to be here.
And for the record, just let me clarify it again. I never said Rooney is bad. I never said Bellingham is.
No. Your position is that Bellingham is generational or world class or whatever you want to call it, right?
What you said, I will tell you. What you said is Jude Bellingham is a more complete footballer.
Yeah.
For me, if I was creating.
Okay. Yes.
It's your opinion, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's better than Rooney.
No, I got you.
We got you. Don't worry. The cooking is coming. The moment of we're going to have a whole trial. When we're done with Manchester City's trial, we'll have Henry's trial. But anyway, guys, Henry, thank you for joining as always. Most reasonable Arsenal fan I know. Shout out to you. You hear me? Now you can, now you can drive to your destination.
How you know I'm not driving right now? No, I'm not driving right now, man. Enjoy, man.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. We shall see you next week. Bye bye.